All across the United States, warehouse space is disappearing as fast as it's becoming available. And the shortage comes at a time when sourcing, building, and renting commercial space is more expensive than ever. This has resulted in many small businesses being forced out of their spaces by e-commerce juggernauts. These companies have seen their businesses boom over the last few years as consumers have fully embraced the convenience that online shopping has given them. This is why experts are predicting the global e-commerce market will reach $6.3 trillion in 2023, and they're forecasting this number to climb to $8.1 trillion by 2026. So, what does this mean for warehouse space? Well, according to a recent study by CBRE, for every $1 billion in additional e-commerce sales, retailers will need 1.25 million square feet of warehouse space. This real estate squeeze has many large retailers gobbling up commercial space at an alarming rate. The construction and field service industry is taking this growing challenge in stride and revolutionizing the way that they're thinking about warehousing. They're doing this by decentralizing their operations and switching over to truck-based inventory management, known as mobile job sites. So, what exactly is a mobile job site? To answer that, let's take a look at how businesses working in construction and field services operated in the past. Way back when, long before the introduction of the cloud or even cell phones, most of these businesses would generally have a very similar workflow. They would lease out a small warehouse or storage space. This centralized location would house all of the parts, products, and tools their technicians would need out in the field. Every day, the technicians would load their trucks up with the necessary tools and parts for the day, and then they would head out on their scheduled job route. At the time, field service and warehouse workers had to rely on manual paper-based systems for absolutely everything. All of their inventory tracking, work orders, service tickets, you name it, was tracked using a pen and paper, which, as you can imagine, was super inefficient. Let's say, for example, that you were out on a job and you needed a very specific part that you didn't expect. Your inventory sheet confirms that you don't have one on your truck, but it shows that there are several back at the warehouse. So you head out to pick up what you need, except when you get there, the part is gone. Little did you know that while you were out on the job, another technician came and snagged all of the remaining parts off of the shelf, leaving you high and dry. Luckily, with the introduction of modern technology, situations like this have all but disappeared. Today, field service management software like Inflow has made it easier than ever for companies to manage their inventory and assets no matter where they are. This has led many of these companies to reevaluate how they think about warehousing. After all, the cost of leasing a large centralized location was first and foremost expensive. For instance, the average warehouse space needed for a small business is between 5,000 to 20,000 square feet. According to data, the national average rent across the US was around $7 per square foot as of April 2023. That would mean a small business looking to lease a space would need to spend between $35,000 and $140,000 a year. And that doesn't even include additional overhead like utilities, insurance, and labor. To combat these rising costs, companies have been taking advantage of their service trucks to meet their storage needs. With the help of cloud-based inventory systems, they can set up each of their trucks as its own separate location. This eliminates the need to store everything in one giant warehouse space, and instead, they've turned their service trucks into tiny warehouses on wheels. This allows small businesses to shrink and sometimes completely eliminate the need for a warehouse. This new technology allows them a real-time look at what each of their truck has at any given time, which provides them with the added benefit of planning each technician's job routes based on what parts they have on hand. Another added bonus of using this mobile job site workflow is how agile it makes your company. If a client calls with a last-minute job request, you can check to see which technician has the required parts and who is closest to the client. This massive reduction in wait times obviously is great for business and ultimately results in a lot more happy customers. With all of the amazing advantages of decentralizing storage space, it's no wonder so many small businesses are using this new model to avoid being squeezed out.